big type of work so in that there are number of the activities in the construction project, and we can always break up the entire project into the number of distinct well defined jobs or tasks which are called activities. So the beginning or end of each activity constitute an event of the project. So a network technique is basically a graphical and a logical model or flow diagram by which we enlist the sequence of various operations which are needed to complete the project. It is the most modern tool of project management. The network technique is based on the basic characteristics that all work must be done in suitable steps. So basically, the network technique is the method of planning, scheduling, monitoring, and controlling the project. They are especially useful in projects which are complex in nature. Network technique give us the complete program for events or activities of any construction project. We can determine the exact time duration for each event and total time duration for project with the help of these techniques. Using these techniques, the scheduling of the project can be done in advance, which lead to optimization of resource and time. It gives scientific approach for monitoring the project, making progress report, enabling the management to take better decisions for effective running of project. So in any network, there are certain elements. So in that, the first one is the activity. So what is the activity? Any recognizable part of a project which consumes the time and resource and a definite period between beginning and end is called the activity. It is actual performance of a task. The work required to complete a specific event is known as a activity. For a significant activity, it should fulfills the certain conditions. Condition like a positive and specific and meaningful effort. Also, the primary responsibility of the effort can be determined. Also, it should have a time span and it should have a description understandable by all concerned with the project. Activities are usually represented by the simple arrow drawn from left to right, and the length, shape, and orientation of arrow has no significance. So activities simply represented by the arrow. Something like this. And on this activity above the description, and on the below the duration can be provided there. Now in the activities there may be various interrelationships. So in any construction project, various activities depend on each other. We can classify the activities depending upon the interdependency of its type. First is the parallel activity or concurrent activities. So the activities which can be performed simultaneously and which are independent to each other are known as the parallel activities. For example, for any construction project, the activities of fixing sanitary fitting and fixing electrical fitting can go at the same time. So these are the parallel activities. So parallel activities can be draw like this. One. Okay. So from one point, the parallel activity of sanitary fitting and the electric fitting can be done simultaneously. The next type is the serial activities. So these type of the activities which can be performed only when predecessor activity has been performed, or it can be performed only after the other in succession, are known as the serial activities. Like in construction foundation of a building, we have to first excavate, then we have used the shuttering, and after that placing of the concrete is done. No activity is possible if predecessor activity is not done. So these are the serial activities. So in case of the serial activities, it is simply represented like okay, like this. These circle represents the events and this arrow represents the activity. So first excavation is done, then shuttering, then after that, if we add another arrow, so that will represent the concrete placing. So these are the serial activities. Next, after the activities, the another thing which I have just named, that is the event. Now let us understand what is the event. So an event is termed as the beginning or completion of an activity. It indicates a particular instant of a time but does not consume any time or resource by itself, such as it only expresses the state of system or the project. For example, like layout plan or excavation completed or shuttering work completed or concrete placing done. So these are just an event. So this way the events are known. Now for representation of the event, events are represented by nodes in a network diagram, and the shapes of these nodes may be square, circle, rectangular, and oval. But in generally, we will use the circle to represent the events in most of the network diagram. Now, if we see the properties of the event, there are certain basic properties. Like an event is either the completion or start of an activity. An event represents a significant and recognizable point in the project. So they act as a control point in the project. An event does not consume any time or resource itself. It shows an accomplishment of a task occurring at an instant point of a time. So similarly, there are types of activities. So similarly, there are also types of the event. So in that, first of all, let me draw for you. Okay. So now you can see the diagram. In this diagram, we can understand the type of the event. So first one is the tail event. So an event which makes the beginning of an activity is called the tail event. Like in this figure, we can see the first circle which represent an event. This is the tail event, because our network is moving from left side to the right side. After the tail event, next one is the head event. So what is the head event? It is the event which makes the completion of an activity. So in this figure, this circle represents the head event for this activity, the first activity, and these three will be the head event for these activities represented by all these three arrow. The extreme right side of the event represents the head event. Along with that, there are also dual role event. So all events except initial and final events are dual role event, as they are head event to some activity and tail event to some another activity. Like in this figure, you can see the second circle. It is the head event for activity 1, but the tail event for activity 2, 3, and 4. For other activities, it is the tail, but for the activity 1, it is the head. So it is a dual role event. It represents the dual role. Next type of the event, that is the burst and merge event. So in this figure, the nodes or event to which a number of the activities converge are called merge event, and the nodes from which the number of activities emerge are known as a burst event. So in this figure, you can see that at event 2, their various activities are start. So it is the burst event. And if all this and all when all these events are merging at a point, so that is the merge event. Now let us understand about the interrelationship between the events. So in a network, event must occur at definite time and in a particular sequence. On the basis of the interrelationship, event can be classified as a successor event and predecessor event. So let us see what are the successor event. So the event that follows another event in sequence of their completion is called as a successor event. Like in this figure, this event 2 or second circle is the successor event of the event 1. And similar way, there is a predecessor event. So the event that occurs before another event of the sequence of their completion are called as the predecessor event. So here in this figure, this event 1 or circle 1 is the predecessor event of the second event or circle 2. So this is about the event. Now after that, there is one more term that we have to understand, that is the dummy activity. Now what is the dummy activity? So this activity does not involve consumption of resources and therefore does not need any time to complete. It is used to define the interdependence between the activities and included in a network for logical and mathematical reason. A dummy is represented by a dashed arrow and identified by the number of the terminal node. So it is represented by the dashed arrow. Let us see that, is there any symbol for that one? No. Okay. So it is basically a break line or by represented by the dash arrow. Something like this. And the arrow is made on the yes, it is something like this dash 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 dash, something type of a arrow. So this is the dummy activity. It is only introduced in the network to represent any sequence or to create the logic in the network. So it is not involved in the any of the time. It does not consume the resource and time. After that, there are also bar chart or Gantt chart. So bar charts are the pictorial charts developed by the Henry Gantt around 1900. It consists of a two coordinate axis, one usually horizontal axis representing the time elapsed and the other vertical axis represents the job or activity to be performed. The jobs are represented in the form of a bars. The length of a bar indicates the time required for the completion of that job or activity. Generally, in any project, some jobs can be taken up concurrently, whereas some will have to be completed before other can begin. So hence, in a bar chart, some of the bar runs parallel or overlap each other time wise, and some run serially with one bar beginning after the another bar. There are certain steps which are necessary to prepare a bar chart. Let me show you the sum of the bar chart. So there was the network failure. So we will continue from the same. So we are talking about the bar chart. So in that, mm, we are talking about that what are the necessary steps that are need to take to prepare a correct bar chart. So for that, the first one is the analysis of the project. First, in the we have to do the complete analysis of the project, and we have to see that what are the different activities are happening and different points or different steps which are need to take to complete the project. So all these things can be identified only by using the analysis. The second one is the breaking the project into the various activities. So once we do a proper analysis, we can easily create the bar chart. In the figure, you can see this is also in a type of the bar chart. There are bars are represented. The vertical axis represented the progress of the work, and the horizontal axis represents the category of the work, but in when we draw the network diagram, the horizontal axis represents the unit of the time. Also, places of the activities in a technical sequence is also required during the preparation of the bar chart. Time required for each of the activities is also an important thing, and the diagram is adjusted according to the target date. So this way the bar charts are prepared. Now there are various advantages of the bar chart. Like bar charts are simple to draw, easy to understand, and can be drawn quickly. And no trained skilled personnel are required to make the chart. Also, the progress achieved at site is expressed in terms of the percentage. Also, bar charts may be used for depicting the resource requirement of the construction project. Also, the bar chart provides a visual representation of the entire project, which shows exactly when which of above activity is supposed to start and finish. Along with that, there are certain limitations of the bar chart. So limitation like in the bar chart, interdependency of activities. So in a project, there may be a large number of activities that can be started with a certain degree of the concurrency. The bar chart cannot show clearly the interdependencies among the various efforts or activities. We cannot draw the conclusion if the two activities which are depicted by parallel lines are scheduled for simultaneous or overlapping times. Whatever they are interdependent or completely dependent. So this is a serious deficiency in the bar chart. Other limitation is related to the project progress. So a bar chart cannot be used as a control device because it does not show the progress of the work. A knowledge of the amount of work in progress or job completed is absolutely necessary in a dynamic environment. Change in a plan are a necessary part of a large project, and a bar chart does not offer much assistance under such circumstances. There is also time uncertainties. So it does not reflect the uncertainty or the tolerance in the duration time estimated for various activities. There are situations which can make rescheduling of various events a necessary part of project and give it a dynamic character which is not reflected in the bar chart. Also, in a bar chart does not distinguish between the critical and non-critical activities. Knowledge of critical activities need the maximum attention of construction team to finish the project in time. It does not facilitate the work of controlling, monitoring, and updating the project. Also, in the bar chart, major activities are only shown. If too many activities or tasks are shown separately, the chart becomes confusing. Therefore, bar charts are not useful for the big project. But the bar chart can be useful for the small project, like you can show your BTech project in the form of the bar chart. There are certain steps or certain activities which are important, so that you can show in form of the bar chart. Like in your project, you have to do the literature survey, you have to collect the data, and if there is a lab project, you have to procure the material, then you have to do the experimentation, then after that experimentation you have to do the analysis of the result, and based on the analysis of result you can draw the conclusion. After the conclusion you can write down or you can start writing of project. So these may be the certain steps which are in a BTech project. So these things are happening in the bar chart. So bar chart is only for small level project. In a construction project, it is not a suitable way to represent. And there are certain limitations are also regarding to the progress and monitoring and etc. So to overcome from these problems, milestone chart was introduced. Let me show you the milestone chart. So this is uh, this is showing the milestone. So the milestone chart brings into picture the functional element of the project and their interrelationships. They are a modification over the original bar charts.
Sir,
Yes,
sir, slides are not visible.
slides are not visible. Okay. Okay. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you for informing. So milestone are the key events which can be identified when completed as the progress. These point marks the completion of certain portion of the main activity. Like here you can see, you can understand the investigation is started at which time and it is ended at which time. So these points mark the completion of certain portion of the main activity. These points can be easily identified over the main bar in a bar chart. In the Gantt chart, a bar which represents a long-term job is broken down to the several pieces, each of which stands for the identifiable major event. These subdivide activities or tasks are termed as the milestone. With a task, the relationship between the two specific milestone is revealed, while the milestone chart is definitely an improvement on the bar chart. It still has one great deficiency, that is, it does not clearly shows the interdependency between the events. So in the mile chart, the events are in chronological but not in a logical sequence. Okay, so these are about the milestone chart. So this is